everyone because
And also, yes, it's very common and sometimes to face
Hello, smart people. Now, our topic is what is our body saying? Yes, actually, our body can say something, and now I have some example of it. The first, yawning. What do you think when you see someone is yawning? Yeah, he might feel sleepy or bored. And the second example is winking. What do you think when your friends are winking at you? Yeah, she might want to give a signal to you. And from this gesture, we know that actually we can send a message through our body without saying something, and it is called body language, a type of nonverbal communication. And first of all, I would like to tell you why I chose body language to be my topic. It is because Dr. Frost. It is one of comic and webtoon that I read, and it has become my first comic that I read in webtoon. This comic tells about an emotionless Chinese psychologist whose keen mastery of understanding human mind and emotion through their behavior and facial expressions. During reading that comic, I realized that people unconsciously show their body language up based on what they through feeling or through thinking instead of what they say. In short, words can lie, but body language cannot. So, if you want to know whether people lie to you or not, you can just take a look at their body language. And now, I have 3 rules in reading body language based on the book entitled The Definitive Book of Body Language by Alan and Barbara Pierce. The 3 basic rules in reading body language is the first, read gesture and cluster. The second, look for congruence. The third, read gesture and context. Now we are going to the first rule. The first rule, read gesture and cluster. Gesture in cluster is a group of gestures that reveal a certain meaning. The example of gesture cluster is critical evaluation gesture cluster. It is the gesture of critical evaluation. It consists of 3 gestures like this, and this gesture reveals that he is unimpressed with what he is hearing, and his body language says something like, I don't like what you are saying and I disagree with you. So, in order to read body language correctly, you should pay more attention in gesture cluster. And the second rule is look for congruence. Congruence here means that when the verbal message matches with the non-verbal message. And the example is like this. When you see someone use this gesture and he says like this, it means it is congruent gesture. Why? Because his body language shows openness and honesty. And the other hand, when you see someone with this gesture and say like this, I'm fine, Ansi, it's okay. It means incongruent gesture. Why? Because her body language showed that defensive, that from this, and anger from her face. And the third rule is read gesture in context. Read gesture in context here means all gestures should be considered in the context in which they occur. The example of it. Yeah. There are two men who using the same gesture, but actually the contexts are different, so the meaning of this gesture also different. The context of this picture is the man is sitting in the bus stop in the winter's day. It means that his gesture shows not defense or cold. So he uses his gesture like this to make his body more warm. And the second context is this man is sitting in front of you when you were trying to offer him an idea or a product. If he used this gesture, it means that defensive. It can be interpreted that he is depending your offering, or he is reject your offering. The advantages of learning how to read body language not only makes you more acutely aware of how others try to dominate you or manipulate you, but also it teaches you to be more sensitive with others' feelings and emotions, so it can improve your relationships to others. And in conclusions, body language is type of nonverbal communication in which physical behaviors are used to express or convey information. There are 3 rules in reading body language. The first is read gesture in cluster, the second, look for congruence, and the third is read gesture in context. Besides that, other factors that should be considered are culture and person's disability and so on. Although the ability to read a person's attitude and thoughts by their behavior was the original communication system used by humans before spoken language evolved, you should practice a lot to minimize misinterpretation in reading body language. I'm Nur Hidayah. Thank you.